say okay, then I start.
Got it.
Okay, good evening, everyone. Today we are having our negotiation session with 5 of our members. I am Oliver Sim, the chairperson for today's negotiation session, and our members are Ong Wee Han, Kai Jun, Muhammad Khalid, Omar, and Abdullah Taha. Today, our topic is we are going to choose a place for internship. For Go Global, a multinational firm, has offered us an internship program at its company for 3 months. Our group gets to choose the branch that we would like to work for, but subjected to availability. In return, we will be given a salary of 2,000 Malaysian ringgit each and free hostel rooms. The branches are located in the following cities: Melbourne, Tokyo, Taiwan, London, Dubai, Singapore, Berlin, and Ottawa. So our task today is to negotiate to rank at least the first 5 branches that we think we should go. Okay. So for the ease of discussion and negotiation, we are going to start with the most suitable place to go that we think. So now I will be starting with my own opinion first, which is I think that the most suitable place for our internship is Taiwan. My reason is that Taiwan is a politically stable country, and Taiwan has lots of job opportunities, and Taiwan does not have a very high living expenses, and this is very suitable for us as students who go there for internship, for experience, and for education experience, and to experience their employment. And I think that Taiwan has a very advanced in their technological aspects, and I think it is a good place for us to find internship, and definitely there is a lot of job opportunities in Taiwan, and this is my point. What do you think, Kai Jun?
Okay. For me, I personally more prefer on Singapore. This is because Singapore is much nearer to my country, which is Malaysia. So I can go back to my home anytime. Other than that, Singapore is also a developed nation, as they have proven themselves in the stage of the international as a very political stable, same as Taiwan, and they also have their ranking top. And okay, other than besides the security in Taiwan, in Singapore is safer, as they are the law root country. So I will be safe, and when undergo my internship in Singapore, and won't be threatened by my employer. What about you, Omar?
I quite disagree with you guys, especially Oliver, because for me, I choose Taiwan is my second least favorite city, because I did some research on the universities in all the countries, all the cities in the list. So for Taiwan, I know it's I agree with him that it's a developed city, but I think that universities there are not like much higher quality education compared to Malaysia. So for me, I would probably choose London because I did the research there's a website called goabroad.com. They did statistics for people preference in cities. So London came first as I preferred. So when I want to choose a place to go to an internship, I would probably choose a place with a native speakers of like English native speakers, so I can learn more English. It's not only about my field. So I would probably choose London instead of Taiwan. And so we still need to hear from Ongui Han and Abdullah Taha. What do you think, guys, for your first choice?
For me, okay, and then Abdullah say first.
Okay, sorry. For me, I
It's okay.
think Taiwan and London is good cities for internship, but the best city, for my opinion, is Tokyo because it's a headquarter for a lot of multinational companies, and it gives a good opportunity for the future. The only disadvantage in Tokyo is that not all people can speak English. So I think the most suitable city for me is Tokyo.
Uh,
I see.
for me, I think I cannot disagree over all of you, but then I most agree is the one is Taiwan, as what Oliver said. Because since the accommodation is already given and provided, so for my concern, my first concern is the food lah. And among all of these countries, the Taiwan food expenses is the lowest. And yet, as an engineering student, the Taiwan semiconductor industry is hold a leading market share in the IC foundry, and it can say like a mini Silicon Valley in Asia. So I think the strong government support at Taiwan, therefore, in this industry, will make a big like impact or something to my further working career lah. Because as an engineering student, we will how to say, you get to all these ICs and all these semiconductor, and this will be my main concern. What about you, Oliver?
Yeah, I very much agree with Wei Han about Taiwan as the mini Silicon Valley in Asia, and I also very agree about Omar's point that London is quite a good place to go to, as we have the ease of conversation, right? The communication, as all of them speak in English, right? And
Yes.
I also like the point that Abdullah gave us that Abdullah said that Tokyo, is it? Abdullah, what Abdullah said just now?
Yes, Tokyo is.
Yeah, there is a lot of multinational firms in Tokyo, right?
Yeah.
For us, like especially if you are engineering student, we have lots of opportunity to work in the technological industries in Tokyo. I like that. That's why inside my list, I am listing London and Tokyo in my top 5. Yeah. So for the, let's talk about our second choice other than our first choice. Then why not we hear from Kaijun first?
Okay, so for my second point, I choose Taiwan as my second preferred country is because as Wei Han say, I totally agree with Wei Han. Like Taiwan is like the mini Silicon Valley in the Asia. So as an engineer, as I'm studying mechatronics engineering, so part of my major is study about electronics. So in order to have more space to improve and to develop the knowledge about the semiconductors field, so TCMS maybe will be a great help for us, and for sure maybe our company of internship can have the collaboration with TCMS and offer some short training or some short courses for us And besides food, yes, because I had watched on YouTube and television, Taiwan has many varieties of food and is kind of delicious and well known. And other than that, because one of another point is that the transportation is in Taiwan is very convenient, as we can ride the commuter or LRT, the same like our Malaysia. So in Taiwan, they also have provide some public transportation, and it's very convenient, and it is easier for me to travel to other place for the work reason or either the travel reason. So Weihan, what about you?
For me, I personally think like the German and not German, the Berlin should be my second preferred city. Yeah, because the same point as Taiwan, like the German engineering is like the well-known engineering in among the world, and the professional qualities that will be incredibility value for we interns to mirror in our future careers. Although they might have some language barrier, maybe because they're using the German, but I think it might also be a merit point for me because it will force me to learn a new language. Like because the working environment should be we must using the German so it will force me to learn a new language and gain.
Yeah, I agree with this point a lot.
I also think that
What
agree on Weihan's points that Berlin is quite a good place for us to do internship, as there is a lot of advanced technological
companies
firms, just
and-
like Taiwan's. But there is a point that I disagree a little, is that if you go for the internship for just 3 months to learn some of the language, it is unpractical, because you go there for 3 months. Is it practical you are going to master the language for just 3 months? Go there
wouldn't
for
say
language,
master,
yeah.
but then maybe before
think-
I were going to the internship, I will learn something.
I
Like,
see. I
learn
see.
a few, like can for the daily talk speaking like this.
Oh, enough for daily use, right?
Enough for daily use and only for professional.
I
For
see.
daily use,
All right, all right.
or ordering some food maybe.
What do you
Yeah.
think, Omar? What is your second choice?
For me, my second choice is Tokyo. Like most of you did. Like I think Tokyo takes a high rank for the Tokyo is the face of modernity and all that is cutting edge. However, all the shining screens, super fast transport, and architecturally. So all of us know that Tokyo, one of the most developed country in the, I mean, cities in the world. So Tokyo definitely will take a high rank for most of our choices. If you can see, most of us scored Tokyo as one of the highest cities. But and for the expenses, I think it's not that hard because we are taking 2,000 and we have free accommodation. So for all the given cities here, I think there's no problem with the expenses. Since we are students, we won't spend much on tourism. We only need to eat and maybe take a break for one day for a week. So I think money won't be that barrier. Yeah.
I see. What about Abdullah?
For me, I chose Dubai as a second choice. Because I'm not sure why you didn't choose Dubai. Maybe because of the expenses, but I think 2,000 excluding the rent is good in Dubai, and Dubai has a a clear plan for the future that they are moving toward renewable energies. So I think as engineering, that's a good opportunity for us, especially in the future. Maybe after we finish the internship, we can apply for a job there and the salaries there is higher than other cities.
Yeah, I'm very much agree with Abdullah at the point that Dubai has a lot of opportunities and the salary is quite attractive in Dubai. Like
Yeah.
there is a lot in Dubai. There is a lot of modern architecture. People in Dubai are famous for luxury shoppings and nightlife there. But
Yeah.
I do not put Dubai personally as my top choices because only for the sake of internship, I will not choose Dubai because it's more like lifestyle, because it's very high quality lifestyle in Dubai.
Yeah.
And
I agree with you, Oliver. And
yeah,
I think, Abdullah, Dubai now is developing, but the education quality there is not that like what we are seeking for as internship students. But for job opportunities, definitely Dubai and UAE will be one of the best choices. But for me now, I think Dubai will be for my least choices for the current situation. Yeah, this is my opinion.
all right. So now as we can see that we have from our charts, we can see it is getting more and more clearly that the ranking is slow and slowly clearly listed out as
Yeah.
our discussion comes by. And we can see that Tokyo has the highest rank, since we all have discussed that the benefits of having internship in Tokyo. And from the list, we can see that Taiwan has the second rank among all of the countries that is more suitable for internship. Mainly, I think this is due to the fact that the living cost is lowest among all of them, I think. Yeah.
Yes.
So now, without further ado, let us discuss about the third country that we think that is suitable, which is the third most suitable country for us to go for internship. What do you think, Kaijun?
Okay. For me, for me, so I will insist of taking Singapore because this was my first choice, and in the Singapore, all the things are systematic and arranged by their government, and we will get, since the hostel room is free, and we will be given 2,000 ringgit Malaysia. Although the rate is low, but the food at the Singapore there is cheaper. We are like, you can buy a fruit at $1 which is 3 ringgit. And I do agree that the Singapore is the multicultural country. They have their own Singlish. So maybe we can learn some Singlish from the local. So do you agree with me, Oliver?
Yeah, I like Singapore. The fact that Singapore is our neighboring country, so we can get there easily. But for the sake, if I am honestly I like Singapore, but the fact that if I would like to choose from the 8 countries that I have the opportunity where I get a free hostel, I would not put Singapore, because as we are Malaysian students, it is just beside us. Singapore is just there. You can go to it, then go Singapore easily. Yeah, that is my personal perspective about Singapore. It's just personal perspective. Yeah. What about you, Omar?
I think Singapore for me is not that a city that I'm seeking for, because currently we are all studying in Malaysia or Johor Bahru, so we are near to Singapore. I know that Singapore is one of the most developed cities, but as I said earlier, when I prefer to choose a city, I would choose a city that I've never been to or I never been to that culture. So Singapore wouldn't be my preferred choice. I would choose like Melbourne, or for me Ottawa. Ottawa is I like Ottawa because one of my dreams to visit Niagara Falls, if you have heard of it.
Yeah.
So if I just go to Ottawa for internship and Melbourne or Ottawa, for Melbourne, the world ranking university there, like the University of Melbourne, I have read an article about the university there. The ranking there is the 31st of the world. So the ranking there is high, and the country Australia is developed as well. So why wouldn't I go there instead of Singapore? That's my point. Yeah.
For me, I totally agree with Muhammad Khalid because our goal as a student is to gain experience. And, for Singapore, I think there is no a huge difference between Malaysia or especially Johor comparing to Singapore. And Melbourne, I think I do some research, so it is one of the most livable city, and it has a high score in education and stability.
For me, personally, before this, I'm putting Melbourne as my third country that I would like to go for my internship. But then now I would like to change my stand to Singapore because I would totally agree with Kaijun. Because Singapore is a well-developed country, and then for me, I personally would thinking like continue my like how to say I would like to have my works at the Singapore.
Oh, yeah.
And then by internship in Singapore, it will help me to immerse in their working culture and also help me get used to their working space. Maybe there will be a Kajun, you can say.
Maybe you first. Oh, okay. I also totally agree with Weihan. Like we planning to working at Singapore in the future. As we know, the currency of the Singapore is quite high in international, and besides, some of the company headquarter is also at Singapore. For example, Google, Grab, Nike, and even Shopee, which haven't launched. So this is due to the political stable in Singapore. So many of the other country investor would like to invest all their money in the Singapore. What
I
do you
agree
think?
with you guys on this point, guys. I really agree, especially for you local or Malaysian students. I think most of Malaysian students they prefer to work in Singapore because it's near to Malaysia. The currency is high. So yeah, I quite agree with you on your perspective. Like you are Malaysian, so you are looking for a
Yes.
country that's near and is more developed, right? And you are seeking for your beneficiality. So I agree with you on this point, guys. Well done for this.
Thanks for your
What
opinion.
about you, Oliver?
So for me personally, Singapore is a nice place, right? Especially for Malaysians. If they want to further their employment in futures after they graduate, they like Singapore a lot. Like some of us here, we like to go to further places for experience, and some of us is more to the realistic part, that for future jobs opportunities. And we can see that we have our own points and perspective, and this is definitely the beauty of discussion and negotiation. We can see people experiences and also their own perspective, and this is the beauty of it. And all right, so the next one we will be looking at is the fourth country that we think is the most suitable one for us to do our internship. for me personally, my fourth choice will be the Singapore. That's why I said Singapore is good. Yeah, my fourth rank is Singapore, and yeah, I very much agree with the fact that there is a lot of job opportunities and a lot of international firms, technological advancements, and really it's just nearby Johor, our university,
Campus,
and yeah, very easy. Yeah, that is my point. What do you think, Abdullah? What is your about your fourth, the fourth
For me,
country?
London is the fourth suitable city. Muhammad Khalid mentioned that the communication there is very easy since the official language there is English. So I agree with him, and there is a lot of opportunities there.
Okay, so I totally agree with Abdullah, as because personally I am a bit more realistic, and because the Great Britain pounds is much higher, the currency of Great Britain pound is higher, so it's very high in the compared to the currency of Malaysian. As besides, the working hour in London is quite relaxed mode, as those Europeans, they will be more focused on life comparing to their work life. So most of the company, they will like end their work at 4 p.m., or even they didn't have the work on Friday. Other than that, we also can enjoy the the tourism in the Europe, as although United Kingdom already out from Europe, but we also can they also have the special train for us to play around the whole Europe and enjoy the life of the Europeans. What about you, Wei Han?
I might disagree with you guys because London pound is quite, the currency is quite high, but then we are given Malaysian ringgit, 2,000 ringgit. It's about like 350 pound only. By this, I quite worry about the cost of living in the London there, because the London as a main city, the cost of living wouldn't be so low. For me personally, I put the Tokyo as a fourth choice. I put the fourth choice, but not the first choice, because I'm scared of the working place culture in the Tokyo. It's the hierarchy relationship between the senior and junior. I'm quite afraid of this. What about you, Omar?
For me, I choose Berlin to be my fifth. So Berlin is an European city. So Berlin, we all know Berlin has one of the technology revolution in Berlin, especially in Germany. So most cars, or like regarding our field, which is electrical, we can find the best, maybe one of the best opportunities. But the reason why I didn't put it in the first choice is because the culture shock there is a bit shocking, you know. Because for me, I'm Muslim, so in Berlin or German, the halal food there is rare. So I would find some difficulties there to live there and cope with the people, because there's some racism there. So yeah, but overall, for my internship, it's good. But for my personal life, I think it would be not that good compared to the yeah.
I see. So as we can see here, we can see that Singapore and Berlin has the same total points, and I would like to hear from Kaijun. Singapore and Berlin, which one do you think is better?
For me, I will prefer
Definitely.
Singapore. I will stand with my point that Singapore is better due to
Yeah,
they have varieties of multinational cooperation and their political stability.
Yeah,
What
definitely.
about you,
How about you,
Abdullah?
Abdullah?
Let's hear from Abdullah.
I
Singapore
will
or
go
Berlin?
with Singapore.
Singapore.
Yeah, I think Berlin, it's a good city, but if we are looking for the future, the salary there is not high, and people there communicate in Germany language more than English, so it will be somehow difficult to communicate with people there.
I see. So we have
I agree on that point. Yeah, I think Singapore is better than better than Berlin. Even though I put my least choice is Singapore, but I agree with you guys.
yeah, right. So now we are clearly listing out the ranks for the countries from number 1 to number 6, and we would like to discuss our least favorite countries to go for an internship, the country which we least preferred. So why don't we start with Wihan?
The least country I prefer is
For me,
Ottawa.
I think
Eh?
the disadvantage in Ottawa
In
is
my-
the high cost there.
Yeah.
I think 2,000 it's not enough to live or go to internship in Ottawa.
Yeah,
And for Dubai, I put it on the second suitable city, but as we see, it's now became the less preferred city, so I didn't disagree with you.
yeah, I agree
totally
with the
agree
fact that
with Abdullah.
Ottawa has the very high living expenses, and you can see that Ottawa has in this list, Ottawa has one of the highest income per capita.
Yes.
And from that we can see that 2,000 Malaysian ringgit is very risky to go for an internship. Yeah, that's what I think.
It's risky.
What do you think, Kaijun?
For me, I will let Wei Han talk first. Wei Han, I think
Alright.
for you just now. Maybe you can say your
It's okay, it's
opinion first.
okay.
Okay, then I will start.
No,
first.
I have the same opinion. Anyway, I start first.
Okay, you start first. Okay, go.
I want to say I have the same opinion with Oliver and also Abdullah, because according to my research, the Ottawa living cost about 4,000 ringgit Malaysia. It's like double of our pay for internship.
And it's
Although the
excluding
lifestyle there is very
sorry, but I want to add 4,000 excluding the
Okay.
rent.
excluding rent.
Yeah.
Although the lifestyle there is very nice, but then for my living, I don't think Ottawa is my choice. What about you, Kaijun?
For me, when I see the word Ottawa, I literally don't know what city is this until I asked Oliver. Then I realized this is Canada. So I least prefer that because the Canada is the country that always cold, and like their winter is very long, and the place is like very far from my country. So, and I agree with Wei Han that the living cost of the Ottawa is higher. So maybe that I didn't get my salary pay, and I just get my salary pay, and my salary finish because I need to pay for the living fees. And besides, the Ottawa is very far from my country, which it will cost me to have a burden on the flight ticket, because I need to fly from Malaysia to the South America, to the Canada, which is at the top of the America. So what about you, Oliver?
Yeah, I think that Ottawa is quite an unrealistic place for us to do our internship because it's very expensive, the living cost, and also it's not that famous for its technological advancements, and also job opportunities. There is much more countries that is way more attractive to be chosen from this list for an internship. Yeah. So now we have basically listed all our cities from the most preferred one to the least preferred one, from number 1 to number 8. So now, right now, we can basically conclude that our decision is made basically from political stability, job opportunity, experience, industrial exposure, realistic living cost coverage, and also our experience for internship. And in conclusion, we can conclude that from the list, and we can see it from the list that the most preferred one is Tokyo as the first on the list. The second one, Taiwan. Third one, Melbourne. Fourth one, London. Fifth, Singapore. Sixth, Berlin. 7, Dubai. 8, Ottawa. So this is basically our outcome for today's negotiation.
Yeah.
Do you guys have anything to add?
Yeah, I have
nothing
a
from me.
small thing. Just for Ottawa, I think, guys, you have, like, for me, I disagree with you. For Ottawa, guys, it's one of my best cities that I would like to visit, especially when it comes to future, you know. For Canada, they are requiring, like, for the last 2 years, they want 2 million or 1 million engineers to immigrants to the country. So based on that figures, I would like to go there. But maybe, guys, for you, it's far from your country, and it's a cold city or country.
Yeah,
So,
but
yeah.
still there is a very good city, right?
Yeah,
If
yeah,
there
yeah,
is a
of course.
chance, yeah.
Yeah, of course. So,
Yeah, I
guys,
agree with you,
so,
Omar.
yeah.
It's
Um,
if for vacation or my further working, I might consider Ottawa. But then for intern, is 2,000 ringgit. Nah, it's not for
I
me.
think, you know, you cannot eat enough there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the food is the first. Food come
yeah,
first.
Yeah.
Tummy comes first.
So basically our outcome is already here. Then it's already about half an hour, and why not we end our negotiation session for tonight?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you guys.
Okay,
I
thank you
really enjoyed
everyone.
the session here.
Okay,